And I am live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. The 5th of July, July 5th, 2019, day number 26 on the road of this epic, what would I call this? The epic Great Lakes Chooch. And I hope you all are having a good Friday morning. The heat is on in Motown today. Woke up this morning to a heat advisory flashed on my phone. It ain't no joke up here with the high humidity and everything like that. We're talking about skirting close to 100 degrees here in the Metro Detroit area today, and that is hot. Well, today's morning chooch is brought to you by, let's see if I can get this thing off here without spilling coffee all over myself. Today's morning chooch, Vegas Vixen, how you doing, honey? Today's morning chooch is brought to you by 7-Eleven Coffee. Sam, how you doing, baby doll? Nice to see you in here. Yep, you were first with the most. Vegas Vixen, where you at? Huh? There's my Monique. There she is. There's my girl. How you doing, Monique? This is for you, honey doll. And bearing down on our final few days in Motown here. It's been a great visit. Sweating my titties off, honey. Send pics. Send pics. You'd like the Detroit Chooch. It was pretty epic. Yeah, I had to protect Elvis yesterday. He's obviously not comfortable, doing even the car chooch. But he got braver as the night went on. We were coming back in 8 Mile Road in Detroit, and all of a sudden he had an urge to go off on the side roads and stuff like that. Look, it's 90 degrees at 10 a.m. I'm in Vegas, going to get on the road to 10th. Okay, honey, that's cool. I think we're blasting off probably Sunday. The weather's going to break tomorrow, and it's going to be not even 70 on like Monday and Tuesday, so it's really going to be good. Good morning, Willie. Hi, cute kitty. Oh no, you're sick as a dog. Oh no, what's wrong with you, honey? Did you pick up something at the hospital? Oh my goodness, I'm sitting under the only shade tree in Michigan right now. I'm waiting on our friend to come and stay and watch. Oh, okay, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I heard Dee wanted to ride back to Vegas with you. Like, if you want to go to Florida. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine Florida right now. I mean, it's enough with the Great Lakes here, the humidity and stuff. It doesn't bother me. You know, I got a text message from Marshall this morning. He didn't sleep at all because of the heat last night. So, when you want to go into boondock and other areas where you can't run a generator, that's the price we have fish that need to be. Yeah, I hear that. Good morning, Ginger. And I appreciate my mods kind of lightening up yesterday. I want to have a good positive streams and good things. So, in real life and on the road here, I haven't had any problems with Marshall at all. And this too shall end after Chicago. Elvis should have boondocked. I don't know. It's just very, to me, look at what I'm in. I'm in a really small tin can, okay? It was humid as hell last night. The air was choked with smoke from a zillion fireworks. Up here in Michigan, I guess everything is legal to put up in the air except rocket-propelled grenades up here. So they were going crazy last night. And, the air was not moving at all. And, I was so tired, though. I just crawled in the back. I put my curtain up, put my back shade down. Didn't need a blanket, and just had a pretty nice sleep last night. I'm hoping we see a Detroit Chooch in the hood with D. Yeah, you eventually will. I wouldn't put D out on the streets, and it's too provocative. It's like Baltimore. There's just... you got to know your zone. And if you're in the chat, please take a minute to give a thumbs up. This morning, yeah, it was at last count, it was closing in on 4,100 views on that chooch yesterday. It was a big big. Chooch covered a lot of stuff, epic scenery in Detroit, experiences. Yeah, it was a really good time. Hood chooching, doing all of that. Central Market. It was really good. I'm really proud of that. Ground Control, hippie chick. How are you, honey? And for my mods that endured that 5.5 hours yesterday, thank you very much. You guys have shown a lot of restraint. What people don't understand is that Marshall and I have been friendly for a lot of years, and meeting somebody in person on the regular through the years, it's not a bond. Even on the sense of YouTube, it's not a bond that's easily breakable. And as I told somebody last night, I always kind of hope that over time, more and more of kind of the rough edges knock off, and it's like a block of stone, and over time you hope it's fashioned into something nice. So that's my working philosophy. I'm a nice person in general. I'm not you're never going to hear me go negative on YouTube or have streams and berate people and all that. I always try to pull for the positive and do the positive things. Good morning, Andromeda. Wish you would have shown American Jewelry and Loan where they made that TV show. Well, we still got time, Bubba Hollis. I'm around in a few more days, but thank you, Willie. I get that, but when you give him your phone to take over, dogs to chat, I didn't hear him calling any names on my chat. I don't permit name calling. But you got to understand, it's a two-way street, too. He sucks down a lot of abuse, and, it's which came first, the chicken or the egg, and obviously the persona did. But that doesn't mean that I have to participate in it. And the people that wanted to unsub have unsubbed, and that's their right to do so. Good morning, Kim. Not on my chat, he didn't, Linz. Not on my chat. Maybe you on his own chat. I can only be responsible when it comes out. You put a timestamp on it, though. But otherwise, no. I don't tolerate that on my chat. I don't tolerate that. Yeah. Well, he's got his own history to bear of his own ill behavior and things. So he ain't no saint, that's for damn sure. And I've talked about dirty delete streams and all those times. They're gross to me. They're sickening to me, those kind of streams. But I don't participate in them and I don't watch them. Yeah, I'm sure. All right, well, you put a timestamp on it, Lindsay, because it sure as heck wasn't on my stream. I don't tolerate that kind of stuff on my stream. But he did suffer, continuous, he was the object of ridicule and stuff through the day on my stream. I thought he held himself pretty good. I'm not here to defend him. He dug his own ditch. He's got to crawl out of it himself. Okay, whatever he makes of his life is his doings. It's not my responsibility. The people that came in and made a big show of, I'm unsubbing, they've now moved on, so nobody has any ground to stand on. The people that want to be here are the people that want to be here. Because content trumps everything. You can sit around and have a talking head live stream event, or you can be out on the road bringing people epic chooches out here. And well, I can't be responsible at the time, Lindsay. I got to go to the bathroom or do whatever. So if he took advantage of that, then I apologize for that. So if he took advantage of that 5 minutes. Hey, Kiwana, how are you? Yeah, the content is good. Anybody that would unsub because of that, I don't want them on the channel anyway. It's not somebody I want around. I continuously get supporters and subscribers that understand that they're going to be brought some of the best content on the road. And do they want to give that up because of somebody that's around or whatever? Some of them have said, hey, I'll be back when you're done your activities with Marshall, which is cool, seems to me the intelligent thing to do. But I can't control that. But enough of that. I'm not here to talk about that. The heat is on in Detroit today. This is what I call Andrea W. today. One of my very good friends here on YouTube. Yeah, no problem, Nicole. That's the perfect way to exercise that right. It's like Nicole says, I'm just not going to be here when he's on the stream. I mean, that's what I would do. There's plenty of people that have streams and stuff, and I'll be watching, and then it goes negative and stuff. I just click out. I won't watch it anymore. I've unsubbed to so many channels on here, and because there's not the content that I want to see. They don't. They don't bring you anywhere. They don't do anything. All they can do is piggyback off of other channels and discuss them and stuff like that. I like to bring original content. So that's the way to do it. That's why I like Nicole. She's, reached the point where she does exactly what she wants to do, goes where she wants, and doesn't click at it. And I've always said, all of my moderators, I want to have the ability to come and go as they please. There's never a requirement to be here on the chat. If you don't show up once in a month, it's fine. It's like, you got a life. Yeah, I'm meeting Andrea today. Now, here's the deal. Andrea had wanted to do some chooching around the Detroit area today. But the bottom line is, we've got a heat advisory on here today. And it's going to be 100 degrees in Detroit. That ain't no joke. 100 degrees out here. There's no way that I can take and go with Andrea and go chooching around Detroit in and out of a vehicle through traffic and downtown or whatever. And good morning, Bubba. There's just no way that I can't with a good conscience ask her to do that today, and I've already communicated that with her today. So what I think we've decided to do is that to journey out to her place, have a nice get together, a nice lunch, and then do a live stream with her this afternoon. We have the meetup. She's proud of her city. There's so many great things that I have seen in Detroit. But I don't want her to risk her health. She's like, I got ice packs, I got other things. Look, it's like Missy Jenn, same deal. I couldn't take Jen out in this weather. Yeah, here. Hey, how you doing, Karen? Nice to see you, honey. My beautiful KM in Toronto, hitting up to 100 right there. She has health issues. She battles relapsing and remitting multiple sclerosis, and she has terrible attacks sometimes. And thank God she finally started on that treatment that, come on in, Kasia. She finally started on the same treatment as Missy Jenn, and we're keeping our fingers crossed. But friends, don't do that. This is not going to be the last time I'm in Detroit. The next time I'll be in Detroit will be in the beautiful fall weather of October and all that. I won't be doing the heat thing. But remember, I grew up in Baltimore, so I don't really care about the heat. It was 85 degrees when I went to bed last night. I had a wonderful sleep. I know the old birds aren't supposed to do well in the heat, but I did okay. Oh, thank you, Monique. Kawana said it's going to be 101 in San Antonio. Yeah, so I'm not really worried about that. You finally cooled down, Nicole. You had a real heat wave the other day, too. I'm kind of out on some of the... quite a few of the videos being on the road a lot. So I communicated to yeah, it's nice. You got nice weather when it's not raining, but I communicated that to Andrea. I think that she was mildly disappointed because she wanted, but we can chooch from her place, and have just as good a time. Have a nice lunch and air-conditioned comfort, and then do a hangout. Today going to be, I don't know if he's going to be around or not. It'll be another week or so, Jordan, and it'll be all clean and green. At which time, after I'm done in Chicago, I've already talked to Dee last night. I said, look, man, this will be like the last train out of Yuma, right? This will be the last train out of town. When I leave Chicago, I'm perfectly willing to come back the 100 miles to where he is, pick him up, and then take him on to Las Vegas. But it will be his call. He may choose to stay around Michigan some more, and that's fine. Eventually, we will meet up again and do our thing. Oh, you're in a cold spell. That's funny. Going to be 95. No, Linz, I can't really put a roof thing. The heat doesn't really bother me. I don't know what it is. I think growing up in Baltimore with no air conditioning, 100 degrees on the regular and 100% humidity in an unair conditioned row house in a shithole comparable to what you saw yesterday. I don't know. I'm pretty heat show. I'm pretty good with all of that. So, oh man, the King's got his dashiki on today. Holy shit. What's up?
Are you ready, Rosa?
I'm on a hangout right now.
Are you on a hangout?
Yeah, where are you going? To get a coffee?
No, all I'm gonna do is oh, you're on a hangout
Yeah,
now.
I'm just doing my morning thing. Talking about Andrea.
Okay.
No, we're not going to do the chooching today. It's too hot. So
It's too damn hot.
yeah, we're just.
Today's a record day. It's 93.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not. It's too dangerous for her. We'll go out there, have a lunch, and then do a chooch at her place. Just a stream there, so that'll be good.
Yeah, if you're gonna want to do a shoot, you gotta wait for the sun to go down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not possible with her health. It's not possible with MS and all that. So
even with our health,
she agreed. Well, I did okay. I slept comfortably last night. I didn't have.
Now it's hot. It's hot out there.
Oh, it's hot. There's a heat advisory.
So you're on the hangout now?
Yeah, I'm just doing my morning thing. I gave up on Tim Hortons.
It tastes like crap. I can't drink it.
I cannot understand how I cross a border into the U.S. and the Tim Hortons is like a totally different freaking coffee. And I'm sorry, at this point in time, 7-Eleven in America is superior to Tim Hortons.
You want to show them my shirt, Rosie?
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to sit in if you want.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Let me just park in the shade then.
It's fine. It's hot as hell. Hot as hell. But what was I saying? Happy Friday, Julie Army.
It's hot.
Yeah, you have to be careful. It's steaming. I got up this morning. I saw a heat advisory first thing on my own phone for Detroit metro area.
It's hot. Yeah. I'm gonna go grab me a Gatorade.
Okay.
I gotta get something.
All right.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Do take your time. Maybe our new filter that made that. Yeah, it might be, Ginger. I don't know. It's just a totally different experience. And my choochers are now sponsored by 7-Eleven Coffee News Union. How you doing, David? Nice to see you. So I communicated this to Andrea today, and she agreed. I'm sure there's a little bit of reluctance of things, but it's actually meeting people and spending the quality time together. And let's suppose we're out and she suffers an attack or something like that, then we got a big issue on our hands. And I don't want her driving either. I got a 2-seater van. Elvis can't carry anybody in the it's not enough for 3 people. So she understood that, so that was good. That's the good news. The other good news is that the heat wave is supposed to break tomorrow. 7-Eleven crew is quite nice. Lounge upstairs to heat and eat ramen. That's nice. Let's see. So yeah, it was a big stream yesterday. Epic stream. Yeah, thank you, Insane Chef. Thank you. And you keep the quality content coming, man. You're pretty amazing. I think everybody should sub up to your channel. You do some flipping good content. I'm glad that D introduced me to your channel. Anyway, that's the story on D. I think he's having a good time doing what he's doing. If he chooses to go along, the destination will be Las Vegas again. If he chooses to hang around here, I will just do I-80 right into NorCal right up there. So we shall see. Yeah, he's around. He's been doing his family thing. Thank goodness his family member that had surgery, the surgery went very, very well, which is great. So, saying anything about New York pizza. Let's see. Okay, Janet. Thank you, honey. Good to see you on the stream. So it's going to be a really crispy one. Hey, Jeff G. So, good morning, Bella Rose. There's the Queen of Buffalo in the chat there. The beautiful Bella Rose, the Queen of Buffalo. Nice to see you, honey. Very nice to see you. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, so the heat today will definitely be on. So I like the alternative plan. The thing is, number one, meet the person. That's the best thing. I'm just meeting numbers of people on these chooches. Some who have not appeared on YouTube at all. and have asked not to be mentioned people along the way, given the times on YouTube and sometimes the level of threats. You know, if you meet this person or you meet that person, this is going to happen. I respect that for people. They just say, I want to meet you. Nomadic Heart, good morning. Yeah, Roman Atwood. Yep, I sure do. Monique, what's wrong with you, honey? You got fever and everything, or what do you got? There's nothing worse than being sick in summer. Let's see what my Texas girl has down there. My Texas girl. Oh, the yellow rose of Texas. Andrew's good people. Yeah, I know Jordan Blue. I'm very aware. I love Jordan Blue. She's like the little ding, the little angel on my shoulder. Rosie, you don't want to do that. Oh, bronchitis, that's terrible. You got to take it easy, honey. You're probably working oddball hours, nursing and all that. That stuff takes a real toll. I mean, it's good money, but holy shit. My sister was a nurse for 25 years and then went on to be a nurse practitioner and then moved into another part of the medical field. Man, she'd be down at University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center dealing with gunshots and all shit all through the night and all that. So this coffee is good, and I have to say, yeah, well, hang on, Jordan Blue, because the Dashiki King is is on his way. Yeah, I'd like to baby you, Monique. Starve a cold, feed a bronchitis, as I always say. I start with a full body massage. That's my baby doll. That's my Texas. She's the sweetest little rosebud that Texas ever knew. Do 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 ba 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 do. You can talk about your clementines, you can keep your Sara Lees, but the yellow rose of Texas is the only one for me. Welcome to cool air-conditioned comfort.
Oh man, you turn that up, it's so hot.
Yep. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's the Dashiki madness today. There we go. Sleeping all last night?
I gotta do a Scott Hall did the NWO with the wrestling. Hold on. Rosie is too sweet. I'm gonna do, hey, the show is all about her because I didn't do a hangout yesterday. I was doing the stream. That's why I don't get all those views, and I was doing the GPS and all that. But I'm gonna do.
Yeah, thank you, Elvis, for all those views yesterday. Because of you, the Chooch was made possible. Honest to God, though, I did give him credit last night on the stream. Rosie, good morning. Hey, how you doing, Ammenegger? Nice to see you. I did give him credit for having the patience to GPS that whole. Sometime he was at the, he's getting pissy, like don't take off, or I have to put the thing in. But he did a good job on the navigation, because it would have been much worse.
Well,
but then again, he wanted to waste time. He wanted to waste time like Sonny's suits or whatever down there. And that was agreeable.
Let me give you guys a little picture here. Rosie's doing a live stream on a phone. She wants to get from place to place. She really doesn't know the address, and sometimes you can't look up stuff on the GPS by address.
And you can't do live hangout and GPS. You can't navigate at the same time.
You just know the name, so you need to use your phone sometimes to look up the place quickly, and then plug it into the GPS. So you're talking about working with two devices, working with a cell phone, with internet, and then working with a Garmin to keep her show going. Otherwise, she'd have to get off the stream, and she didn't even have a GPS, so.
Yeah, I didn't have it.
There's no way that you can do it. You have to have the GPS. So
the GPS really did save the day.
It took two devices.
Yeah.
to get done what we got done, my phone and the GPS.
Oh, thank you, honey. Bye, Monique. I hope you feel better.
So,
I'd like to leave you some love.
Man, it is hot today. It's going to be 93.
So that I was grateful for that. So, yeah, the plan changed today. It's too hot to do. It's not. There ain't going to be no chooching out there today. So drive out to see Andrea, have a nice lunch, and then go chooch at her
Unless
place
the sun goes down, the sun goes down.
Well, even tonight is. I slept pretty good last night. I thought you might go to a place you could.
So the plan is you're driving all the way where she lives?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Oh,
about a half hour.
It's more than that.
Well, I checked it this morning.
Okay.
Actual, so. Let's see. Oh, the wisdom. Yeah. So, I gave up. Like I said, guys, if you're just coming on, I gave up Tim Hortons. I don't know what this deal is here. It must be an additive or something they put in. Maybe the coffee's the same, but it doesn't have the taste of the Toronto Tim Hortons whatsoever. So today, I had to start my day the 7-Eleven way. So yeah, when I woke up to a heat advisory today. Let's see. I'm in this. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Chris said, you should, are you okay in the van? I actually slept wonderfully last night. I'm pretty heat tolerant because of growing up in Baltimore and the heat and humidity. As long as the sun's down. It was about 85 degrees. The thing that bothered me was all the gunpowder smoke in the air from all of the fireworks.
I don't think it's the temperature, it's the humidity. I think last night I was borderline. I wanted to put the AC on. But it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. I think if it was Florida, there's no way it would have been tolerable. But
I haven't seen no flies around. Good morning, Alex. Good morning to you.
Not too many mosquitoes around. That's what I noticed.
Yeah, there were a couple that came out late, but I'll tell you what, I've saved thousands of dollars on hotels. Every morning I wake up and I pop my feet out of the van and hit the ground. I'm just thinking how much I just saved on the overnight. I feel like I'm getting maximum out of like a Detroit with paying the minimum that I can pay. So yeah, do I eat a little? Do I go for specialty things here and there? I do. There'll be some people that say, "Oh, you're eating out all the time," but I'm eating cheap, man. I went to a place with a $3.99 shawarma yesterday. I had a pastry for 89 cents last night. Things are pretty cheap.
Food is very cheap in Michigan compared to other places.
Yeah, so it's been good. I'm tight with the buck, as you guys know. I'm not one to sit down and blow out a big fancy meal. It's all about eating on the cheap. Yeah, they are cheap. They're very cheap. Are you, let's see, seriously, Elva? Yes, and he's paid my way too. He paid the what was the name of that restaurant we went to? Hamido's. And that was a hell of a deal. What was it, $16 for two people?
And I've got her complimentary coffee.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons. I always ask her if she wants a Tim Hortons. And
he's not been tight with spending. He's not been tight with reaching into his pocket, because I'm not going to do it all the time, and I think he already knows that for that. I mean, I got to make my money stretch on the road too, just like he does. So, and that's the honest God truth. Gas here is $2.20 a gallon. Wow. We saw 268 or 267 somewhere yesterday.
269. Yep. I've been seeing gas prices go up.
Yeah. So
gas prices are going up.
No, I'm not going to meet more Boris. I'm not. I think the feeling's mutual. He doesn't have any interest in meeting me, and I don't have any interest in meeting him, and that's fine. Right. He lives his life. I live mine. It's good. I'm a respectful person. I'm not going to do a drive-by or do any. It's not my nature to do that kind of stuff. To be provocative and to be a pain in the ass. So I do my thing and he does his. He has his fun. So I tried everything. Top 10 years ago. Yeah, I guess last night was tough on a lot of animals. They don't like the gunfire. Not the gunfire, but the gunpowder and explosions and all that kind of shit. So I think that's a better plan for today. There's no way I'm going to be on the streets of Detroit. I wouldn't be on the streets of Baltimore today or anywhere doing this. So.
No, this is a very hot day.
And Andrea totally agreed. She might be like mildly disappointed, but she's got to protect her health. If something happened to her, she had a relapse out on the street, then we got a big issue to deal with. And it doesn't. Missy Jenn doesn't do well in heat. I watched some of your videos fixing up. I love what. Oh, thank you very much, Katya. I also have a lot of those videos on the Rosie Murphy channel, so make sure to check them out. Yeah, it's not even in the best of health. Today's not a day to be creeping around the streets
No,
of
it's
Detroit.
not. It's hot. It's humid.
Yeah.
It's
the smell
miserable.
of shawarma. I'll tell you, I've enjoyed the food. I gotta be honest, and I've enjoyed the prices up here. I think that spread in Ishtar was like $12 that night. $12 to have that guy do the tea show, and to have that triple appetizer thing there, and to have that experience of being in that restaurant with all the artwork and all the way that place was tricked out.
There's some places that I wanted to point out to you before you left.
Yeah, I think that she is kitten cat. That latest MS, that infusion treatment has really given Jen a lot of her quality of life back. That's why I'm hoping Andrea can take comfort. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh no, I wanted to point out to you that about we touched the food a little bit, but there's some places that I wanted to point out to Rosie before we left. Obviously, the Middle Eastern buffet. I've already mentioned that to her.
Yeah. Kebabs I haven't had yet.
She keeps on mentioning kebabs. I get that, but there's this other place that's famous
and not
for
the ground meat kebab, the real
right.
meat.
Well, she keeps on mentioning the. Before we get into the kebabs, there's another famous place called Al Mazgoof where these huge fish and different kinds of fish, and they grill them on charcoal and on wood. It's Iraqi style. It's called mazgoof.
Sounds delicious.
It's something that you have to try if you're in Michigan. That's the second thing.
I'd love to try it.
And as far as the kebabs and shawarma, there's a lot of different places that have these things. She's stuck on the kebabs. There's a lot of places that have that over here, but it's I think that that's a very a small part of Middle Eastern food, the kebabs and stuff.
Well, Lindsay said try other food besides Middle Eastern. I had the Coney dogs, the original place where they were came from. Mm-hmm. But the reason I'm doing the Middle Easterns, I can't get Middle Eastern at where I am in California. There is not really any Middle Eastern food that's worth anything out there. Narse, his nephew, took me and Missy Jenn, we told him we were going to take him out to the only real Middle Eastern place. It was a Jordanian place. We walked in the door, and he's like, hell no. He grabbed my arm and took me out. So I've got to kind of take advantage of the food that's here.
When you're in Michigan and you're in the Middle Eastern Mecca, you try Middle Eastern food. Yeah. It's like saying, I want to go to Chinatown and try a shawarma. Right. It doesn't make sense. So
I'm trying everything here, but we always ask people, what's a signature Detroit dish? And there really isn't, except for the only thing that people tell me is the Coney Island dog.
Well, they tell me Buddy's Pizza, which is Detroit Pizza, which they're saying that's something.
Baltimore has crab cakes and wood crab and hard crabs, steamed crabs, and there's Eastern Shore chicken, Maryland Eastern Shore chicken, but I don't really know his signature.
Michigan is a patsy. Patsy is like a handheld pot pie. It's an upper Michigan thing. Maybe you can find those here.
Okay.
I don't know, but
what's it called? A patsy?
A patsky or patsky.
Okay. Patsky.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's see what we can get it. Well, I just it's like I said, for me to come here and to not grab all of this food that I can to get that experience, because before you know it, I'll be back in Santa Rosa, and it's more the California. They like there's a restaurant called East West Cafe in Santa Rosa, but they fuse the food with California, so it's like you don't really have the authentic experiences. Like, this is our twist on whatever, our baba ganoush, and it's something you don't even recognize in the tray. Buddy's Pizza is the best in Detroit. Good morning, Cindy Lopez. Glad to see you. Glad to see you too. So I'm really glad yesterday we did that epic stream because I feel like we didn't miss much in
I think for me
Detroit.
to do a proper Middle Eastern food tour in Detroit, I would need at least 2 weeks. There's too many places.
Yeah.
There's way too many places to try. So Rosie got a taste of it.
Yeah, like I said, I would come back to this place in like the fall, in October or something like that. It would be
where it's a lot cooler.
It'd be delightful.
It'd be beautiful over here. You come in September.
It's a beautiful state. The people are nice. There's
It'd be great boondocking in the
stuff
cool.
to see.
Yeah.
You go up to the the upper part of the mid there. You've got the Mackinac Island and all that, which is 10 degrees cooler.
You got Traverse. No, it's actually 20 degrees cool. It's like 75 over there, and here it's like 90 something. It's actually cool. You got Traverse City. Known for their cherries.
There's nothing to worship about Louis Farrakhan, in my opinion. But I'm not going to go there. It's like
I like Louis Farrakhan.
I don't.
Who's talking about him?
I don't like Malcolm X either. Okay.
I think Louis Farrakhan is a smart guy.
He's a provocateur. He's a troublemaker. But I'm not going to go into that now. We have differences of opinions about that. I just don't. I don't care about his opinion about it. It's his opinion. I grew up in Baltimore with all these race baiters and other people and crap. Parren Mitchell, Congressman Parren Mitchell, another famous one, and a lot of these idiots would come in, these Black Panthers and stuff, and stir up shit, and But I'm not going to talk about Farrakhan. That's 20 years ago. That's when he was in his heyday. Just my opinion. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. He sees positive things in Farrakhan, so I don't care. Nathan, good morning to you. Yeah, somebody said it was going to be hot as hell. If we were in Toronto, it would be close to 40, which is 96 degrees or something.
Well, there's a heat wave going on.
Yeah.
But Toronto seems much cooler than here because there's more of a lake breeze. Especially if you get close to Lake Ontario.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. How you doing, Jazz? Nice to see you. Yeah, Farrakhan said Hitler was great as a Jew. I find that sickening. I would find that sickening too. But I don't want to talk about Farrakhan. I just want to keep this.
Well, Farrakhan just represents the Nation of Islam. He doesn't represent the whole religion of Islam. He represents the Nation of Islam. I think he's a smart man. He's in a lot of ways. He's probably controversial in a lot of other ways, but he's a smart man. If you ever listen to the guy, he knows what he's talking about.
My bottom line is, when I look at somebody, is it a person that unites or is it a person that divides?
Yeah.
And it's very simple in the case of Louis Farrakhan. His job is to divide people, to get the togetherness of one group and then sort of go to verbal war with another group. I don't like that. I like the people that bring people together, but I don't really care who you like or who you admire. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. So that's your own.
Well, you like Trump, and he doesn't bring people together.
I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't vote for either of them. I'm a libertarian. My vote was a throwaway vote. So, but it is what it is. It's the principles I stand on libertarianism. I didn't vote for either of them, but I would voted for Trump long before probably Clinton. I don't know. It depends how I felt in there. So,
did you like Ted Cruz?
Yeah, I like Ted Cruz. I like can't remember who the governor of New Jersey was. I liked him.
Chris Christie?
Chris Christie. I liked him a lot. Yeah, I like the can't remember his name, the senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham's counterpart down there. Really smart guy. I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, I just don't. I'm not into dividing people. I look for the common ground, not the common divider of people. But that's just me.
A lot of you women out there are liberals, aren't you?
Well, a lot of my people are conservatives too.
I think a lot of them
down
are.
in the South, most of the women that watch me are Southerners, and I
Really?
can't always say that they're.
Most women are liberals. There are some that are pro-Trump.
I think it depends on the area of the country.
Oh, the Southern conservatives, yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. There's also Western conservatives down south and things like that.
You think most of your viewers are
Yeah,
conservative?
Julie is not she says, I'm not a damn liberal. Coming for where are you, Blue Jeans? Coming for a swim. I forget what a pool looks like. You know, I've never been so dressed for so many days.
So you're saying most of your viewers are Southern?
No,
Southern white women that are conservatives.
Most of the ones that show up on my chat stream, there's a good mix. I would say the majority tends to lean towards the South, because I'm a Southern girl myself, so it naturally attracts. Oh, what part of Michigan are you in, Blue Jeans? What part of Michigan? Yeah, Ginger says, I take each candidate on their own merits and vet them according to issues. That's a smart girl, Ginger. You know, that's like a Mensa,
is she a conservative?
She's Mensa.
Is she a conservative or liberal?
She's Mensa, man. I got the smartest mods.
Well, what is she?
Let's see, movie buff said, I'm a liberal and I don't consider myself. Maryland and South, we're Mid-Atlantic. To me, Maryland will always be a southern state. You know, virtue by the fact in the election of 1860, only about 4% of the state of Maryland voted for Lincoln.
Most of the women viewers out there are feminists who are liberals. Most of them, even in the South. Very high percentage voted for Hillary.
Trey Gowdy, that's the guy I really like. Trey Gowdy. Man, is that guy an amazing guy, you know? Smart, articulate, skilled, just a heck of a guy. I don't like to make generalizations, Marshall, about most of this or most of that. That's where you get in trouble in life. You start thinking most, and then the exception comes down the line, and then they get mosted with the rest of them.
Most of the women in the drama community are feminists. Feminists are liberals. They're not conservatives. Most of them.
I would say I'm a very fiscally conservative person. Somewhat socially liberal, but not extreme. I'm not wanting separate bathrooms for transgenders and separate, you know, if Trump believes that it's better not to have transgender in the military, I'm not militant about that decision. That's within his right as a commander of chiefs. You know, there's certain things that I just won't fight about. I think it's a shame because you're losing people that want to.
Hey, I've got a prediction. Do you want me to reveal it?
What are you going to predict?
You want me to reveal it?
What's it about? What's the genre? Politics? Social? What?
It's about D-dubs.
Okay.
It's not my prediction though.
Well.
But I have to say who I side with.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. X believes that D-dubs will get back with you on the road to Vegas.
It'll be his call.
But Drury, the Godfather, Drury Nadav believes that he won't. And I will say that I will pick the Godfather's side. I don't think he's going to go back with you to Vegas.
I think having gotten a taste of Michigan, he may choose to stay around. Or he may not. In a week or so, or 10 days, when I'm finished up in Chicago, he may decide that he wants to leave at that time. It'll be his choice. I told him on the phone yesterday, I'm perfectly willing to double back to where you are.
That's my prediction.
Well, we'll see what happens.
And what is y'all's prediction? Will
it's his personal decision. Whatever way he decides is fine, because eventually he gets back to Vegas. We'll meet up again. I'd invite him to go down to Southern California too if he wants to do the LA and the down there. It's just difficult when you're in a tent, you know, as opposed to you know, having. The best thing he could do is get like a Plymouth Voyager or some type of van that he could just take out the seats and just do a build in the back and have a good. Then he could boondock and he could go anywhere.
Like something like this, something as simple as that. You know, I mean,
just a minivan. I think that's a Chrysler minivan.
Yeah.
If he did that, then he would be so much greater
He'd be all set
on the road, and he could go anywhere. He could boondock anywhere. He would have total stealth, and nobody would bother him. If he has kids, he needs to stay and support them. End of story. Yeah, well, that's on him. So if I had a friend that had a crab cake and offered me a bite, I'm not gonna be ruined with mustard. Yeah, you don't put a lot of mustard. You want to taste the crab. That's the problem with crab cakes. No, Missy Jenn didn't feel the earthquake. Even my daughter in LA didn't feel the earthquake. She said, I'm glad I'm taking off for China today, so that's cool. Anyway, the crab cake, you got to taste the crab. and too many people kill things with seasoning. Good morning, Glinda. How are you? Say good morning, Rosie and Elvis. Good morning to you, Glinda. So, what's the next foodie priority thing here? For me, it's a kebab finally, but it's also
Rosie she keeps on harping about the beef shish kebab.
Which because you don't ever put it on. You say, we're going to do that, and then I end up at another shawarma place, and I'm like, okay.
Well, there's when you talk about kebabs, all these Middle Eastern restaurants have kebabs, but there's also meat markets that are butchers that specialize in kebabs, in different kinds of kebabs, and there's a place in Dearborn that specializes in that. But kebab is just one of the many foods of the Middle Eastern foods. So
one I feel I've never tasted.
There's so much more in Middle Eastern food.
I think I'll never taste in Detroit.
No. One thing I want to tell you. You know where I think we should go today if they're open? There's a place called, and this is what I'm trying to point out. We're gonna go to the Middle Eastern buffet, which is Lars's Palace. Then there's Al Mazgoof. You've got to try the Al Mazgoof, which is the big grilled fish. That's something you got to try. Last place that I wanted to say that there's a place called Al Sulaf. It's in a very bad area. According to YouTube and some statistics, there's an area of Detroit called Chaldean Town, where all these Chaldeans that live here used to live there. Now it's a hellhole. Anyways, there's only 2 Chaldean businesses left there. There's a butcher shop and a place called Al Sulaf restaurant. They have really good food and it's cheap. And it's an old school place that has been open since the 70s. And they have the filet mignon shish kebab there also because it comes out of a butcher shop.
Man, let's go.
So that might be a place. That's a place that I said to myself that I have to try because it's part. Also, it's next to the Chaldean Center that you realize that Saddam Hussein helped fund to build. The Chaldean Center, that's a place that you have to get on, that I have to get on video. And also
Chaldeans are Christians, by the way.
Exactly, they're Catholic Assyrians, and Saddam Hussein also helped to build a Chaldean church here in Michigan and the Chaldean Center. So that's a place where you can get a kebab, like you're saying, you can get a really good food, and it's an old school, it's an institution. It's a place that I can't even believe is still there. So that's a place that we have to go to. There's so many places.
West, I had the hot dogs. The Coney Islands were just as good as going down to the original. I still hope to do the pizza. And the good news is the weather is breaking tomorrow.
It's going to get better, right?
Morning. Oh, it's going to be in the upper 60s. I'm like, this is going to be like perfect
for lows,
weather.
For lows.
For highs.
Oh, for highs?
69 degrees.
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
I'm like, all of a sudden my ships come in here, so I'm kind of playing shit by ear right now.
I thought the highs are going to be in the 80s.
No, it might touch 80 degrees, be in the 70s. Let's see. Yeah, so that's the deal. So there's still a lot more. Food stuff to do here.
There's some places that I had on my list. I'm like, I have to do this. This is a must.
Yeah. And I want to get them done. I'm not going to
But
leave
even
the area
besides that,
until I do
exactly. And even as far as the food, but there's so much other food that you run into. But some of these places were on my top list that I have to go to.
Tomorrow's man. The weather should be breaking tomorrow, so that's good. And then Sunday, I have a challenge from my friends down in Texas. And I'm not going to reveal what that challenge is. They want me to go to a specific spot and do some solo chooching there, and I'm going to give them a bonus on there too. Let's see. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'll play it there. If the weather gets delightful here, then it's really might be game on. I don't know. I might, just packing a few more things over there. I know he's anxious to get to Chicago and get the.
Not really. I was kind of anxious to get to Chicago, yes, but there's so much. There's so much.
That anxious to roll out.
This would be a really nice place to come back, like you said, in the fall time when it's cooler and.
If it cools down a lot, I'm going to have to rethink my plan to be around here possibly a bit longer. Because the area's growing on me, just like Toronto did. The first day is stunningly difficult when you go into a big city. The people are driving differently. The people make you don't even have left-hand turn here. You move into a center island, and then you have double turns back the other. I mean, it's
we're getting the hang of it, the feel of it.
Yeah, getting the hang of it. Exactly. There's people that do 100 miles an hour on the freeway. There's just death zones.
And we're kind of getting the feel of geography a little bit, right?
The feel of geography and how the city's laid out. Time to get ready. Okay, you take care, Julie, Army Mom. Thank you, honey. You have a wonderful day. I'm going to go about 10 more minutes. I want to thank my moderators, too, again, for yesterday for 5.5 hours on the stream, trading off back and forth. Thank you very much for being there and being a part of the channel. Tasha, food is my main objective and desire in life. There you go. The great Tasha in the chat. It's like you see the sights and then you want to see. To me, it's what's the culture? It's defined by the food of the area where you are. It really does make people in this particular area. And I felt like I wanted to scratch down on that till I found out something really local, Detroit, that's a real, like Buffalo has the beef whack. They have the
beef on what? Beef on what?
What is it?
Ted's hot dogs. They've got the buffalo wings.
Buffalo wings. It Duff's buffalo wings, and
they also have places that have the special some submarine sandwiches. They've got some pizza places.
That would be cool, movie buff. Oh yeah, there we go. Watch your old video. Oh, thank you very much, Alex, and thank you. Okay, Nathan, nice to see you, sweetie.
I think with Michigan, you should go to the upper to Traverse City and try the cherry pie, the cherries. That's what they're known for. Peaches, plums, the Patskis, different places with the meat pies, Patskis they call them.
Yeah, it's probably nice areas up there too.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's probably
really nice.
I'm not one that checks the demographic of every area, but believing there are safe areas in every particular city. But that's just the things I do. But anyway, thank you once again for the doing that job yesterday. I've had some good food here. I've had some really good eats, but like I said, being in being in an area of the country in California where I can't get Middle Eastern food, and then you come to a place where, you know, around so much of Dearborn in this area, it's like the epicenter of Middle Eastern food.
Well, I think when you try this buffet on Sunday, you'll get a big view. You'll get a big taste of the reason the
buffet is good is because I can sample
so many things,
everything on there across the board, and that's the best way to get introduced to the cuisine. Right. I've not had one bad tasting thing. You know, I mean, yesterday the Shilla, what was the name? Shatilla was just an incredible experience. If you haven't seen that on the Rosie Murphy channel, the Shatilla Bakery, as Marshall said, that's known around the United States as the number one
Middle Eastern bakery.
And it was incredible.
Ishtar Restaurant is known as one of the most famous Syrian places in the country. So Rosie's, I'm trying to get her to realize that she's walking into the Middle Eastern food mecca.
Yeah, that's why I want to grab it while I'm here, because once I leave this area, that's done. You know, it's one and done. You rarely find.
She walked into a bakery where people in California and Santa Rosa order from her, but she's there physically. So.
Lebanese and Turkish food is fantastic. Hey Kathy, how you doing, honey? It really is. I like to sample all that stuff, and I just can't get it out in my area. I got this piss poor representations out there of multi-generations removed from, you know, it's like an Italian person lives in China for 6 generations. Their Italian food is going to change, you know, by the 6th generation. It's not going to be recognizable as
every type of Middle Eastern country has a twist on their food. So Iraqi, Jordanian, Lebanese, Palestinian, Iranian,
good
Persian.
To see Kathy rebuild. You do have a Trump hat. I'm not I don't ever advertise political affiliation. I'm not one to wear that ad on my I go into the voting booth, I close the curtain, and that's it.
Rosie never talks religion or politics.
Never.
She's more into baking.
Well, more into social meeting and things. I don't, I want to find a common ground, not the dividing ground. Let's see. You have a MAGA hat, huh? Make America Great Again, Trump. So the thing I find weird about you, though, Marshall, was you voted for Obama. And there was nothing I found really compelling about to do that vote, and then you can turn around and vote for Trump, which really surprised me because Hillary Clinton is Illinoisan, and as was Obama, but you gave her the shaft, man.
Yeah,
explain that to me.
I didn't like.
This should be good. Didn't like her pantsuits.
Did I ever tell you that I met Hillary Clinton? Did I ever tell you?
No.
No, really. I've said a story before.
Come on, Marshall. You didn't meet Hillary.
No, really, I did. Let me tell you what happened. Around 1990, there's a famous hotel in Hot Springs, Arkansas. You know Hot Springs. Everybody knows Hot Springs.
Congress Avenue. Yeah,
it's called the Arlington Hotel. And they had the best seafood buffet years ago. Now it sucks. They had these king crab legs and sea bass and all the stuff. They had a guy playing the piano in there. And Hillary, this was when Bill Clinton was governor, and Hillary was there with Chelsea, and they were there, and they were there having dinner, and then my dad's like, son, one day, I don't know, like, he's like, I want you to marry Chelsea, I want her to be your wife, they got a lot of money and all this stuff. My dad's talking all this stuff, and then she actually. It was my birthday, and she came up and told me happy birthday, and she shook my hand, and I met her and Chelsea.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's when she was the first lady of Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly. I met her there.
I can't wait to get down to Arkansas, to Hot Springs.
She looked at me with those eyes, and there was something reptilian about her. There's a lot of videos on Hillary Clinton being a reptilian.
Please, don't go down. Please.
And she looked at me with those eyes, and I'm thinking... I knew it was a reptile looking at me. I'm like, this is a reptilian. I thought in one way it was cool. I never knew she was going to be so famous.
One weird fuck, man. In a lot of,
I thought, but there is research this. Hillary Clinton being a shapeshifter reptilian. Also, George Bush Sr. is a reptilian. There's videos of him on YouTube that he shapeshifts. Hillary Clinton is a reptilian. She's a shapeshifter.
Meanwhile, back on planet Earth,
Did you know Bill Clinton was Chinese?
No, I didn't know
If you look at him closely, you can tell he looks Chinese.
I don't know. I just equate Bill Clinton with the best, 8 years in America. You know what I mean? It was everything.
Prosperity.
Was
everything was doing good.
I did not have sex with that woman. It was a good time. It was a high point presidency.
The 90s.
Yeah, coming off the 80s, I was happy when Ronald Reagan became president, and
hey,
all that.
You never said what you thought about Bush Jr.
You know
who I think you like Ross Perot. You strike me as somebody that would vote.
I enjoyed Ross Perot.
You would vote for him, I think.
I did. George Bush had some tough times to go through with the. I think sometimes his ego was a little big, and he was maybe a little too alpha and stuff. But he made tough decisions and stuff. So I don't know. Just the way I feel. What's up for today? Oh yeah, let me just end the stream. Andrea W. We're originally going to go chooching around Detroit. We got a heat advisory outside. It's going to be 100 degrees in the Detroit metro area today. There's no way with Andrea's MS, her relapsing and remitting MS, that I can take her out in the heat and chooch around Detroit, which makes me happy. We went yesterday and did what we did. The plan is to drive up, meet her, have a lunch, and then do a stream from her place for a few hours, and that'll be a lot of fun. She'll be able to stay inside the cool and comfort of her own home with that going on. This heat's a killer today.
No,
this heat
is
and
hot.
humidity this ain't no joke over here.
No, it's hot.
Okay, I'm not sure. Let Elvis know he has a real life friend in here. Who is it? Hey Lee, how are you?
Who is that?
Somebody's my mod. Was it Kim? Yeah, Kim said that there was a real life fan of yours, or a friend of yours in here.
Kim.
Me, Barn did.
I don't know who he is.
I'm not sure. How you doing, hipster? Somebody went to school with? I'm not sure. That's not going to be enough of a name for me to go.
What's his name?
You know, this guy is Barn Madrid.
Who?
Madrid?
I don't know who he is.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Duck Heat Elvis. Is that it? D.A. Duck Heat Elvis. I'm not sure.
Dakhil Elvis. Dakhil.
I'm not
He's Syrian. That's an
Yeah, I think
Syrian.
that's on for tomorrow. I think Yeah Man is going to take it.
But before we go off stream, I just want to ask your fans a question. If you believe that D-Dub is going to go to Vegas with Rosie, press 69. If you believe he's not, press 77. I vote he's not. 77. I'm going to go with the Godfather.
And no matter what happens, life will go on.
That's what I predict.
I will be down and having a lot of fun. And thank you, Monique, once again, if you're still in here. Hey, Pappy, whatever way it breaks is fine. I've got my beach holiday coming up. You know, I'm going to be in Southern California having a kick-ass time. There'll be people that'll come out of the woodwork down there that'll want to meet. I'm thinking of getting a place in San Diego for a couple weeks and, you know, having like a streaming house set up or something like that. So it'll be a lot of fun down there. Hipster Heaven, I hope you're doing good. So I'm going to go ahead. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you for everybody on my side chat. Next up, we got Andrea W., the other queen of Detroit up here, the other principality of Detroit. So we're looking forward to meeting her too. Okay, thank you for joining me on the morning stream today. And I'm really sorry, Tim Hortons, you're just not cutting it. You're just not making it down here down here in Detroit. It's like a feel. Hal Michaels, I hope we go to the Henry Ford Museum tomorrow with Yeah Man. I predict tomorrow is going to be an epic day. Actually, I'm well rested, man. I had a hell of a thing. I just kind of have like the big eye, you know. I was very well rested. Anyway, thank you guys once again. Have a wonderful day. Lots more content to come. Woo! Woo! He said, this guy said he'll talk later, this bandmate. He's too cryptic for me. If you have something to say or whatever, say it, man. Don't beat around the bush, okay? Thanks, everybody.